We answered. I talked stuff. I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe this.
I think we're going to come back. We're going to win a couple more games. I don't think it's going to be like last year. It's hard to win Super Bowl back-to-back.
You're going to flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds, fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Welcome to the real world. I can show you the world.
And then?
And you'll be in a world of legendary moments will be captured. So stand up, scream, and make sure the boys feel you.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Play. Had an opportunity to win that game again. But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us. I'm upset, but the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. He had one man out there for one more play.
Dallas still stinks.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman, waiting on Philly 500. He's running about 5 minutes late, coming home from work. I appreciate him, but yes, Dingbat Nation, don't worry. Your boy is on his way. He's on his way. He'll be here before we know it. Let's get to the chat real quick. He should be here in about 5 minutes, and then we'll get knee-deep into Eagles football. I want to pick his brain. Maybe he'll ask me some questions about the Cowboys. I'll counter on him. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. But let's get to the chat. On the top of the show, though, we sit $19 away from our next giveaway. I do have a Jalen Hurts bobblehead here. It is a numbered item. It's a numbered item. So Brad Harris got the Dak Prescott. I have a Jalen still in the house. I got T-shirts. I got hats. I got Eagle hats. $19 from our next giveaway. If you want a giveaway tonight, we need some super chats. But let's get to the chat before Philly pops in here. Let's see. We got Jeff Lee in the house. We got CZ. We got Chris May. We got Dave Thompson. We got JoJo. How are you, JoJo? I didn't get nothing sent out this morning because I had no power when I left to go to work, or I just came on little moments before I walked out the door. Arturo Gomez, my RV buddy. What's going on? Brad Harris. What's going on, Brad? CZ. What's up, my guy? Chris May. Dustin Bosley, what's up, Dustin? How are you? Who else we have? Ginger Rogers. Where's Fred Astaire at, Ginger? Where's Fred? Ginger Rogers is in the house. Lady Libra for life. I need Mark's button, right? I'm burning. Oh, that's Lola. We got Arturo Gomez. Michael Dana's in the house. Coyote, my guy Coyote. What's going on? How is everybody doing? Adrian, what's up, Adrian? We got Drew, Eagle fan Drew is in the house. We got Eagle fan Drew. We got Timothy Looper. We got Marcus Blackman. We got, dude, we're loaded here tonight. Philly D, what up, my guy? How you doing, bro? Philly D is in the house. We got, who else we got? We up to 50-some people. Very good. Bernard Taylor, what's up? Game time at Philly 500. Yes, Philly is in the house. Drew, your boy is here. Twiz the Jigga. What's up, Twiz? How are you, my guy? Who else we got? Oh, Super Chat. Chris May, $10. Cool. We are close to another giveaway, people. Remember, I got the Jalen Hurts bobble. I got some Eagle Game Time Brian hats. I got whatever you like. Let me put Chris May in the hopper, and then we will welcome Philly 500 and Dingbat Nation into my mama's basement. Chris May, you are in the hopper, my guy. So that puts us $9 away from a giveaway. $9. Philly 500, are you ready to roll, my guy? What's going on?
I'm ready. You hear me?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear. Did you get your computer fixed?
No, my computer is in the shop. Going to cost me $800 to
What
fix.
exactly is it? Because I had an issue a few months ago, and it was absolutely a horrendous experience. It was a C drive that was maxed out, and I had to swap C drives. And it was like you lose shit, all your settings, everything's gone. But anyway, so what's wrong with your computer before we get knee deep into this shit?
It was weird. Like a couple months ago, it just started with this like little black line down the middle. And then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where sometimes I would turn it on and it would just be completely black and I couldn't get anything. The computer was working, it was turning on,
but you couldn't see
there would
anything.
be no picture. And I'd have to literally like keep flicking the thing up and maybe
cable or something. Like maybe
I don't know, they didn't tell me if it was like a video card or a display.
It could be a problem. Yeah, a display cable.
But either way, of course it happens literally.
Yeah.
Like
People
as
forget,
my warranty
dude.
just expired.
I have everything in here. I'm sitting here. I got my set. I don't know what you use or what you got, but I'm looking at 4 monitors. I got my Rode here, but everything, if it goes, I am screwed for it. And last year it happened in the middle of the season. So, but anyway, I'm glad you're up and going, but you need to get that shit fixed before the season starts.
I'm just waiting. I got my wife's computer. And her computer is really slow. It's a little MacBook Air. It does not handle the processing power. So I can't edit the way I like, things like that.
Right.
I'm pissed off. Like if it would have just did it a month before, I would have been under warranty. But of course, they set it up. And I believe.
Do you know what I do? This is actually one of those high-end gaming computers. So, it is what it is. That's what I've had. It's a Dell, but it's a Alienware. I ain't gonna lie. The reason why I went with Dell because I was able to get a $2,500 computer, and I was able to pay on it monthly. And if I have an issue, it's 24/7. I could call them and go, "Yo, I have this, I have that." But anyway, computers aside, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on. It was about a year and a half, 2 years ago that you were on with me and my partner Prime Time on the other channel.
That's right.
This channel here, we're rolling, baby. I'm actually proud. I'm about a year in, and I'm at I'm almost at 31K. So thanks to guys like Philly 500 and Mark Holmes. And I will say, I know Mark, he said he's going to try and be in the chat, but I don't see him. Philly 500, I told you this before. You are the best in getting to the people in the chat. I respect how you do that. It's not easy. And hey, listen, Philly has 400, 500, 600, I'm talking now. During the season, I don't know how you do it. It's hard for me to do it. Yeah. But I appreciate what you do for the people. And you've been always gracious to me. I
appreciate that.
You're from my sister. I actually got to talk to you off air because my brother-in-law thinks he knows your family. I don't know, but I'll just say
really?
The Giacomos. Maybe they know your family. But anyway.
Okay, it might.
Yeah. So I just want to welcome Philly to the show. Let's get to it, my guy. This is how I want to do this. Because everybody goes, softball. No, well, listen, we can get into it. I'll disagree and we'll go at it. But at the end of the day, I really want to understand, and I'm going to bring some questions out and listen, the big thing here, I'm gonna start out easy for everybody. What's up, Texas Eagle? How are you, my man? Kenyon Mitchell is balling out, and he's killing it. And listen, it's only been 2 days, but go ahead. I want you to expound on what this gentleman is doing because he looks like the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, it like you said, it's. I mean, they've had pads on one day, but you know, he looks like a player, man. I think to me, the thing that I like the most about Quinyon Mitchell so far, because I think we know. I mean, you don't go in the first round unless you don't have you have physical talent, so we know that. What I like about this kid is he gives up a pass, he comes right back, and he's talk shit to AJ Brown. You know what I mean? He's not afraid to get up in there and fight with him. And I think
what he said that was, I think he said it's a horseshit route or something to that effect.
That's trash. That route was trash.
That's a trash
that
route.
Was an
that was an looking at him like, whoa.
Yeah,
you were quiet.
AJ said he hadn't said anything until that. But that was OTAs. But if you look at camp, you know, yesterday, like at camp, I mean, he was up in AJ's face. He was talking crap. He's making signs when it was incomplete because he pushed them out. I think you have to be mentally tough and you have to be able to forget things as a cornerback. And I think a defensive back, you could have, there's a lot of guys with time. You really don't know what they have until you see how they handle certain things. I mean, I can remember Byron Maxwell coming, right? Oh, one of the best corners in the league. He comes to Philly, he can't handle it. Can't handle the pressure. There's countless amount of cornerbacks that can do that. So to me, you know, what I like about Quinyon Mitchell so far is I like the mental aspect. It seems like, you know, we got a fighter.
The game's not too big for him, right? He's not a guy who's overwhelmed. Right. Listen, Philly, you can say whatever you want. Dallas, playing for Dallas, just being around the Philly media. Not every town has the media that is at the NovaCare. Not every place has the media that's at the Star. It's like ridiculous. I mean, how many eyes? Now, I would say this: there's probably way more fans at Eagles camp than there are at Dallas camp. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard that. I saw this
out there.
What is going on with the Cowboys?
Good.
Oh my.
You know, man, the money train is just rolling in. That's what they care about. You know that. But, you know, Mark's going out there. I was originally supposed to go with him, and I'm glad I'm not going. I am so glad I'm not going because they don't need my money for training camp. That they could stick it. But anyway, we'll move along. I do like Kenyon Mitchell. Like I said, he was my number one DB. We were at the draft, and, you know, it was funny because in the draft, Howie was trying to trade up multiple times. We were getting word, and he was trying to move, all to get a Q, and lo and behold, he falls. He falls to him. I mean, come on.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I believe that.
Really?
I think he wanted. This is just my personal opinion. I think he wanted the offensive lineman for the Steelers. I think Q was a second choice.
Really?
And he fell to him. He didn't think it was good.
Oh, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but who are we talking about? I'm trying to think. Which one?
I forget the kid's name. Name. Went to I think it was he with I don't remember. I can't remember his name.
Maybe it was Latham. Maybe it was J.C. Latham.
No, it wasn't Latham. It wasn't Latham.
All right. It wasn't, obviously. It wasn't
I forget. There was a kid that they were absolutely
the Oklahoma State kid.
I can't. His name's slipping my mind.
That's how I am.
Too many names.
Yeah.
But I think he wanted him. That's just my personal opinion. And and then Q next. But they didn't expect Q to be there. They did not think he was going to be there. The draft fell where so many offensive players went off the board that it worked out.
And and we're sitting there, and the whole thing about Kenyon Mitchell is, well, he's from a small school, and then everybody was saying, the best athlete as far as in the secondary in the draft was Cooper DeJean, and they're like, all right, well, you know, Cooper DeJean possibly. Well, then he drops to you in the second round.
Yeah, so I love that.
And Listen, I don't know. I think there's a decent possibility. People don't understand how hard it is to play corner in the league, let alone missing camp. He may start out the year on PUP. It may happen, but either way,
he's behind.
He's
Either
going
way,
to be behind.
He's playing
people.
behind.
And
yeah,
that's
true.
Don't be upset with it. The last thing you want, right? The last thing you want, Philly, is for him to come back early. Or you always want to stay out a little later or longer than you need and rehab a little longer, especially with them soft tissue injuries.
Especially with the hamstring. I mean, that thing you have to be healed of that. That thing will not go away.
I think this division, if anybody's going to open up the division, it'll be the Eagles. But I think it's going to be Dallas is going to be 500 like after 6 games. I think Washington's going to have a lot of excitement, but they have an unbelievably tough schedule.
I like their quarterback, but it's going to take a few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The
I like
Giants, that. I think unfortunately I had Pizzle on a few weeks ago, and we were nice and all, but dude, that organization, just watch it. I don't know if you watched any of the Hard Knocks.
I did, yeah. I watched the first 3 episodes. I haven't watched any of the other ones yet.
I watched the last one when I came home from work today, and it was that Joe Shane is a joke, dude. How he's
a moron.
I mean,
he's a moron.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I probably still would want him over Jerry Jones, but still. The super chat, Timothy Looper. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you. But yeah. So I mean, I think that he's off to a good start. And listen, everybody, just keep in mind when we're talking about good starts, we're talking 4 or 5 non-padded practices.
Yeah, it's in context. That's what.
But
in context,
I think that's. I think you could tell when a player is not like nowhere near ready, and I don't think that's the case with him.
No.
So listen, I think that's good. I mean, I think that's good. You're going to need him, and I mean, I guess we'll start there. Let's just start out with the corners. I think that's where. And if you have any questions for me, just feel free. But let's go with Keely Ringo. In my opinion, Philly, I think Ringo is I don't know. I mean, I'm a little like, are they going to actually start Mitchell over Ringo? Opposite of Slay? Obviously, those are the top 3, obviously, now, in my opinion. I think Ringo is a huge, important piece of the puzzle. He has to be what they think. Am I wrong? And I know that, listen, I know Avonte Maddox is the slot guy, and I like him, but he can never stay healthy. But just give me your opinion on the Eagles DBs and what you think. How everything being equal, how is it going to shake out?
Well, it's hard to say because right now clearly you have a open spot on the opposite side of Slade. They have no interest in putting Bradbury back there to start.
Well,
so you have
his stock up somehow.
I agree.
Get it up.
Right. I agree. But it looks like if you just base it upon the training camp practices, it looks like really that Rodgers and Ringo have been fighting more on that outside spot than Quinion. Yeah, Isaiah Rodgers. And it's really hard to say who has the inside track. But what we're hearing with Quinion Mitchell, he could wind up sneaking in and wind up starting by the end of this whole thing. I look at Ringo. I believe Ringo is going to be a quality starting cornerback in this league. I think he'll be a really good number 2 starting cornerback. Can he do it this year? That's the question. But I think that he's a quality starting corner. The question is what are you going to do? Because you have Rodgers, you have Ringo, and you have Mitchell, and they're all slotted on the outside, really. You can play Mitchell somewhat inside. He's been taking reps inside, but eventually you really want him on the outside. So to me, what I would like to see them do is get Isaiah Rodgers and see if he could play in the slot. Because I agree with you. I don't think Avonte Maddox is long-term.
I think he's very good at what he does. His problem is he can't stay healthy.
Can't stay healthy.
I'm going to be honest as a Cowboy fan. Just looking at it from outside in, I think he's very talented. And whenever we seem to play him, when he's on the field, he's a thorn in your side. But if you can't, if you're always in the tub, you can't make the club. You know what I mean? Whatever.
And remember, they cut him. I mean, he was cut. He made visits to New Orleans, maybe another team, and wind up coming back. So I think that Avante secured his roster spot when DeJean got hurt, because I think what they wanted was DeJean in the slot to beat out Avante Maddox at some point. But they're putting Mitchell in the slot the last few practices because they're trying to figure ways to get him on the field, which tells you that they're really deep, or they feel like they got some depth at that outside corner opposite Slay. So I think it's a wide open battle, and I think that it's a 3-man race. I think a couple days ago, I think it was a 2-man race. I think Mitchell is kind of making his move right now, and I think if it's close, they're going to put Mitchell out there at the end of the day.
They're always going to defer to the top pick. I think what's going on, and we could talk about it. Dallas is doing something similarly with their 5th-round pick, who they had a high grade on. That for whatever reason dropped down in the draft, Kalen Carson. I'm not here to, he's looked all that and more. But I just want all my Cowboy fans in the chat, because we're about 50-50. I have about half Eagles subscribers and maybe 60-40 Cowboy subscribers.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb is not in camp. So it's a little different what Kenyon Mitchell's doing, because he's going up against A.J. Brown. They actually put mano-a-mano yesterday, and again, they're putting him against the best. But that's what you want to do. Like Vic Fangio, like the old crusties, like Mike Zimmer and Vic Fangio, they want to see what you can handle. They're going to throw as much at you, right? And then you're going to tell that coach. He's seen it all. Vic Fangio has seen it all. And they're surprised, or not surprised. I'm not going to say that, Philly. They're happy, from what I'm gathering, they're happy that he keeps eating and going forward. Like you said, he's eating. And I think it's a good sign, because your cornerbacks as rookies are not always the easiest thing to find. So if you can get one that can come in. Now, I do know that the fear, I think Sills had said this, maybe. I don't know. I heard that, Fangio, you don't want him to get a too good look at Bradbury, because anytime you had a veteran, you're going to want to defer to a veteran. But if you notice, obviously, they moved Bradbury right out of the corner slot and stuck him at the safety slot. I thought that was smart. Your thoughts on Bradbury? Do you think they're trying to get his value up? If they can't trade him, do you think he gets cut?
I don't know about getting cut.
That's the question. Fangio's not going to want to cut him.
Well, no. I think he'll be on the team, but if they can't trade him, but I think they're going to trade him. Like I don't think they're going to get much for him.
Something
good, listen, the reason they're putting him at safety is because, one, they want him out of the way for the other guys, but two, it's to say, look at this veteran, look how versatile he is. He could be in corner, he could play safety now, and you have injuries in preseason, whatever. People are willing to take a flyer on a James Bradbury. Hey, we'll give you a 2026 7th-round pick. Team might do it, So I would be shocked if Bradbury's on this team week 1.
Or even do something like this, right? Yeah, and this is what I've been getting. Dallas used to do this. Now, they haven't done it in recent years, but they haven't done nothing in recent years. They literally haven't done anything. They're going to draft, and then they're going to live and die. And last year's draft was horrible. So as far as production, you saw what happened. We choked. Dak did his thing in the playoffs, and it was a wrap. But maybe, just maybe, what they do is, even if you can't trade him for a pick, maybe, I don't know, a team that is maybe a little lacking in a cornerback depth, or a team that maybe is good that needs a veteran, might flip you a position. And we don't know what's going to happen in training camp. But shit, we lost Sam Williams already. Flip something that you could use better, maybe, whatever, alignment, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? I wish Dallas would do that more, be a little more creative, have a little bit of Howie vision, and flip something for something. Rather than releasing him and getting nothing and have to go through the waiver process with all the BS. So maybe you'll do something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows? But I think it's a good start for Kenyon Mitchell. I do like DeJean, but I don't know. Again, you know, I hate to say this, but I don't know how many great white corners there have ever been. Do you think he ends up at safety, or do you think he's going to end up playing corner?
I think that DeJean is. I think what he is depends. He can play every position.
Yeah, he's.
But I got to tell you, when I watched his tape going into the draft, it took me 10 minutes to say this kid's a safety. He looks like, to me, he'd be better at safety. I think with DeJean is how they use him. If you take DeJean and you just put him on the outside, I don't know how good he'll be. But if you take him and you say, all right, you're going to learn the safety position. You're going to learn the slot.
Safety,
you're going to learn the outside corner.
Yeah.
I think they need to use him as a floater. So I would like Mitchell, Ringo, outside corners, Isaiah Rodgers in the slot. Let's say like my best plan in the next few years. And then I'd like CJ Gardner-Johnson safety. And then I'd like DeJean. Like 1 week you play him safety. Next week you want him in the slot. You stick him in the slot. You need more. Like, let him be that floater guy. Take advantage of his athleticism, his versatility. If they use him that way, I think he'll be a really good player. But if they just stick him outside corner, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Woke Yosef is the man. Oh, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Philly 500. Yes, he's in the house. He was nice enough to join me. I appreciate him very much. His shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Hallie Pierce, what's up, Foodie? How are you? Philly D, the Great White Hope. Now, listen, I agree with Philly. I do. I agree that how I would play it, he would kind of be like. Obviously, his position would be safety, right? But I think you could slide him down. He's so athletic. You could blitz him. You could drop him in coverage against a tight end. I just think there's a lot of ways to use Cooper.
Yeah,
so
that's right. And I think
rush
one of the
him.
reasons
That's all I'm saying.
I think one of the reasons he dropped down is teams don't know how to use him. They don't know what he is.
I think we nailed it. I think what you want to do is kind of, use him like across the front. Why? Because he's an athletic white boy. Sorry, that's just how he is. He's an athletic dude.
I mean,
there's not many.
I mean, think about it. I mean, if you could get him where it's like, all right, well, we want to match it up with the tight end 1 week. We want to match it up with this slot receiver. Like, there's if you use him and that versatility, I think you'll get the most out of him. If you just stick him in one spot, I just think you're not getting enough of what he is. So it really is going to depend on how they use him. Now, he was starting out in the slot. I expected him to play some slot and then get reps at safety. But, of course, him getting hurt, he's behind now.
Philly D was a great, but he was the last great white a corner. Yeah, they're few and far between. But, again, that doesn't mean you don't take him. He's an athlete.
No.
I think of this. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm a guy who likes to take a negative and turn it into a positive. Listen, if Cooper was there from day one and never got hurt, maybe, you don't learn – like you may not learn what like you may learn it like over the next couple weeks, right? It ultimately may be a good thing. Where, like you said, Isaiah Rodgers, okay, you got Isaiah Rodgers.
Right.
I don't know if Philly. I haven't talked to Philly about this, man. I know Eli Ricks coming out of college. I couldn't stand him. I thought he was a tall guy who just was he was giving up shit left and right. I hated Eli Ricks. So maybe I don't know. Let me look. What do you think of Eli Ricks? Do you think he makes? I don't think he makes the team.
I liked what I saw last year.
I think he's a tall dude who gets burnt all the time. I don't know how deep you go.
Well, maybe. I thought. I mean, it's hard to say. You're talking.
You said Rodgers,
3 preseason,
Mitchell, Slay, Maddox. That's
Listen,
5. We're going to keep 6. So he's fighting for that last spot then.
Well, I know it's
It's crazy.
that's the same. They've got so many corners and defensive backs. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, even trade somebody else. I really don't think Avante Maddox would be on this team if DeJean don't get hurt.
Or
I
one of those,
really
who could
do.
you get to the practice squad? That's the dangerous game that you play because Dallas
but
lost
when I
multiple.
yeah, but when I look at Eli Ricks, though, what I saw, and I can only base it on what we saw in preseason, he showed some flashes. So there's something to develop there. It's just a matter of what and how much. I mean,
It all comes down to
they've
Vic,
got a
right?
lot of
Vic likes
yeah.
what he
It
saw.
really
He
does.
wasn't a Vic guy.
Yeah.
Vic wasn't here
No.
when he was picked, so you know how that goes.
Right.
So
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm, all right, Timothy, you're a pad in the box, bro. Timothy Looper, thank you so much for the super chat. We're getting closer. Let me get this.
Yes.
But let's go with, I'm going to keep it positive for a while before I get into some negative stuff. But I would say Jalen Carter is
Stud.
yeah. Now, just I'm not gonna sit here. Everybody knows me. When me and Mark were at the last two drafts. I had Jalen Carter as my #1 overall player in that draft over any quarterback, and all because of the stupid whatever off the field racing cars and shit, whatever. He was the #1 talent. The fact that I think you guys traded up to 9 to get him, I believe,
Yeah,
something
9.
like that.
One up one spot.
Dude, he is an absolute stud, and nobody can block him. And I'm very close to the situation. I take pride in learning the enemy. So he's all that and more. People, he's going to be a problem. He's right up there, probably.
He literally, he might be the most
good.
talented player on the team.
Oh, I would say so.
He's
but,
that good.
People get annoyed when I say that. Oh, we got Jalen Hurts. No, I think this guy is an absolute stud. So,
He is. I think he's the closest to Jerome Brown we've had in terms of talent. Well, whether he can develop into that, we'll see. But
he's off to
I
a
think
good
he has
start.
a great start. Yeah, great start.
I mean, so that's
Absolutely.
I would say that's good. I want to get your opinion. I'm not as bad as Mark. Mark is very negative when it comes to Kellen Moore. I'm here to tell my Eagles fans that Kellen Moore will make Jalen a better quarterback. His stats will be better this year. You're not going to learn about Kellen Moore until you get into the playoffs, but I think you're going to see more motion. I don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I haven't been
That's what we're hearing.
Are they
Yeah,
doing
we're hearing
motion?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're moving the receivers around a lot more also.
My thing to you is, because Kellen, one of his major routes, it'll be curious to see. I don't think Philly's going to be able to know. He's going to guess, and he's a smart man, so we're going to go with what he thinks. But I think with a Kellen Moore, he likes to run those option routes, Philly, and how that works is, your quarterback snaps the ball, he drops back. It's up to the receiver to read the defense, the defensive back. He has to read and then either bang it back or you take it up the field. And the quarterback and the receiver, based on the coverage, have to be on the same page. And that's where you saw a lot of those pick sixes going the other way under Kellen because Dak loved it. I'm just telling you, Dak, he loves the option routes. Why? Because it gives you big play potential. So I'll be curious to see whether Jalen can do that type of stuff. But, I was big Philly when I said that they got Kellen. I'm like, I don't know what he's going to do, but I would hope that he would take the quarterback and try and maximize Jalen and not try and fit a square peg in a round hole.
I agree. Yeah.
It seems like they're running some RPO. I'm not saying you got to do it 100% of the time, people. I'm not. Don't get carried away. But what do you think about what you've heard so far? Obviously, it's early. And what are you thinking regarding, the future?
So far it seems like there's a lot more motion. I like that there are times where they're putting A.J. Brown in the slot, they're putting Devontae in the slot. I think you got to move those guys around. And so I think you're going to get a lot more use of your talent around you with Kellen Moore. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the quarterback and the quarterback play. I think Moore's a pretty good offensive
Thanks,
coordinator.
West Virginia country boy. Thanks for the super chat, bro.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be, if Jalen Hurts is missing passes, it's going to be a problem. If he's hitting passes, it's going to look great. So to me, at the end of the day, it's all about the quarterback. It's all about Jalen Hurts and what he does and how well he adjusts to the new offense. It may take you time early. It looks like right now from where we're at in camp, it looks like that the offense is way ahead of where anybody thought they were going to be. Jalen Hurts is looking very accurate. And I think him being accurate in camp early, of course, makes the offense look better. Last year at camp, one of the big problems was Jalen Hurts was very inconsistent, missing throws down the field. He ain't missing anything so far. So you're off to a good start.
So
but at the end of the day,
good. Yeah.
I think Mark gives way too much blame to the offensive coordinator because he doesn't want to give any to his love child.
Dak.
But the truth is like,
oh shit.
It comes down to the quarterback and the quarterback play. Your quarterback plays well. He makes the passes. You'll be fine. What I like about it though, from just what we did, last year we just lined up, every play the same way and snapped the ball. I think using AJ Brown at times in the slot, Devontae's. I think you got to move these guys around. You got to look for matchups.
Well, wait, hold up. Okay, here we go, Twiz. There you go, Twiz. Listen to your boy here. Say you got to move him around because all I get is CD's the best slot receiver in the league going up against.
He is the best slot receiver.
But
he's always in the slot.
But he wasn't always in the slot, right? And we don't have a guy like Devontae Smith. I'm not saying we never did.
Right.
Thank you so much, Ginger. Liking the discussion. Love child. LOL. Yes. That's why I feel you 500 who he is. He's got these, the love child. Thanks, Ginger. Listen, I think, regardless of what I think that's how you have to coach this, in this league. You can say whatever you want about Dallas, but, last year we had Brandon Cooks. Yeah, they were doubling CD and having a safety over the top. In the first, 5 weeks of the year until they went into a room and they said, we got to figure something out because I can't get open. I'm getting doubled and tripled. We don't have a guy, that's just the facts, people. You can sit there and shit on CD.
It is the facts.
I don't care.
No,
I think I love CD, but whatever.
I think he's a good receiver.
But I think that's smart to put him in a slot because, and
I agree.
And again, just remember, people, you ain't going up against a safety 9 times out of 10, even if he's out of the slot. People are running multiple defensive backs. Sometimes they're traveling with, A.J. Brown or CeeDee Lamb. They're like, oh, well, CeeDee's beating safeties. No, that's not always the case. It totally cracks me up that, if people go there you go, Hamid.
I say
another one.
I say pay him. Pay him that $40 million a year.
He won't get 40. He'll get 34 and a half.
Give him 40. Let's make him the number 1 receiver in the league for the next 3-4 years.
Mark Hutchinson, shout out, brother.
Pay him.
A good evening, game time at 500. Yeah, I know.
What's up, buddy?
Dallas ain't gonna well, I'm not gonna say that. They've overpaid fucking a lot of people.
They waste time. I've never seen anything like it, man.
Well,
like you have literally 3
deadlines. Make deals. Yeah, fuck the deadlines.
Dude, you realize that the Eagles signed seriously, like the Eagles signed Devontae and AJ Brown. I know. It's crazy.
That was a shock after they signed Devontae. That was like, oh shit, AJ Owens is going to be upset, so we got to take care of him.
Devontae was Devontae
he's
did
the
that
best.
on purpose. I believe
like
he
him
did
way
that.
more than
Definitely my favorite Eagle on the team is
he's got
Smith.
a little I think he's better than him, and I know that's a big you're probably going to think I'm blasphemous, but I think Devontae is Deshaun Jackson plus something. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be better than D-Jack. He don't get hurt.
Oh yeah,
knock on wood. For a little guy, he's unbelievably durable, and he's a hell of a team player. He actually took less money, people, to stay. I know, it's weird. And
it opened up the door to signing Brown. You can't do that if Devontae wants top dollar.
Thanks, Blue Virus. Thank you, my man, for the super chat. Again, we're getting all the niceties out of the way. There's some bad coming, whether he admits it or not. But, listen, Eagles are...
Bad.
What's up?
Bad.
Well, I mean, everybody wants to...
I'm joking.
I'm just saying, there's not... I mean, dude,
Right.
You have some issues.
I get it.
Every team has issues, and you have whenever you go young, you have issues. That's just a fact of doing business. Bang bang,
Agreed.
Philadelphia, Philly 500. Don't let Dan Soleo brainwash our fans. Listen, bang bang. I don't care what Philly 500 says, and he can answer it. Dan Soleo is not an Eagle fan. Okay, he's an Eagle content creator for Jacob Sports. I'm not on the show, so I could say it. So that's fine. He's in the market. He's going, when Philly's on, you saw they double team Mark. When Philly's not there, it was a love fest. So I don't know if you saw it. They were up each other's ass for.
No, I
40
couldn't
minutes.
go on today.
Yeah, well,
I couldn't get on today.
It is what it is, man. It is, but I mean, Dan Soleo is not an Eagle fan. I'm just telling you. I don't care. He's saying Dallas is going to win 5 and Eagles are going to win 7. I think both of those predictions are ridiculously bad.
I don't think. Yeah, I think both
I don't understand
are low.
that. I don't understand that. Oh, well, there you go, Philly D. 500 loves Gainwell, and we could go to that. I mean, I do
not.
I know you don't. I know you don't. Because fucking Gainwell. I know, but listen. Everybody, it's early, but I just want to let Philly know. I'm sure you know. They're doing their red zone package, and they're pulling Barkley off the field, and Gainwell is in the red zone.
I know.
What the fuck are they doing there? What are they doing?
I know, and I heard John McMullen go on and talk about how Gainwell's a better receiver out of the backfield than Saquon.
I don't know
when did Gainwell get 91 catches this year? Barkley's rookie had 91 catches. He gets 50 catches every year. Come on, Gainwell stinks. Listen, Gainwell's a good
I just had to bring it up,
running
people.
back. Gainwell's gonna, if they're pulling Barkley off the field on third down like they did with Swift, I'm gonna lose my mind. I think he's a good third down running back, but he's not a borderline starter or borderline one. The drop off between Barkley and Gainwell is ridiculous.
I'll take him.
You could,
we
can have him.
We need Gainwell, even though I think the running game. Actually, what's his name? Isaiah Pacheco lives 15 minutes from me. He just bought a house. He's supposed to be on the show. My producer's telling me. But yeah, but we'll see. But he
gives me nightmares.
Yeah, well, because you should have got him, right?
Because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, well, that too. But
couldn't tackle him in the Super Bowl.
But I'm just going with you really don't need a top. Which I was surprised, Philly, when they went and got Barkley, because
I wasn't. Yeah.
Well, just hear me out. It was the Eagles who invented this. Yeah. We're not going to get a bell cow guy. Now, I'm not saying Barkley. Obviously, when they're using Gainwell in the red zone, that he's not the bell cow. But Eagles are the one that was like, we're not going to pay a lot of money for running backs, and we're going to go with a kind of a committee type. It really surprised me that they went Barkley as opposed to bringing back Reddick, maybe going out and getting a linebacker. Felix Rojas, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. You are in the hopper. We definitely got at least one drawing tonight. So thank you so much, Felix. But, Barkley missed time for a personal matter. And Will Shipley, who I loved coming out of the draft. I loved Will Shipley. He looked unbelievable in the 2 practices. So,
right. He has looked good.
I mean, my thing to you is, in retrospect, maybe don't pay Barkley. Obviously, you didn't know you were getting Shipley, right? So it's easier.
Right. No.
And then go out and bring back Reddick. I understand he's in a holdout, but he'll be there. He's our thorn on our side. I'm glad he's not with the Eagles anymore. And then maybe go out and get one of the stud free agent linebackers instead of getting Barkley. I think you might have been better off. But you're inside and you like Barkley. You tell me that I'm wrong and why.
Well, let me tell you, about 2 weeks before free agency, I said, don't be surprised. I told people, don't be surprised the Eagles signed Barkley. And let me tell you, I mean, I got a lot of shit for it. Like, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. But but the reason I said it was because if you go back and you listen and you kind of look at Howie and what he said about the running back, it's not that they undervalue running back, but they look for certain type of running backs. There's somebody like McCoy, certain things that he had. When Christian McCaffrey was coming out of the draft, the Eagles tried to draft him. They also tried to trade for him before he left Carolina. So, and then if Carter's not there and Bijan Robinson's on the board, the Eagles are going to take him. So to me, I kept telling people the Eagles don't look at Barkley like other running backs. They're looking at Barkley as a weapon. And the thought process is this: you can rebound or you can rebuild your defense with a lot of younger guys if you actually make your strength stronger. If you make your offense better and you make your offense harder to stop, then it gives you some flexibility to focus in the draft on your defensive players, young players, let them develop while your offense kind of holds everything together. And adding a running back, a 3-down running back, that was something important. And I think the other thing is people look at Barkley and they look at him on the Giants. The Giants stink. I mean, I don't think people realize
I agree with that.
The numbers Barkley has been putting up has been all by himself. They had his rookie year, they had a 1,000-yard receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. He goes, they didn't have like a 700-yard receiver any of the years that Barkley was there. And, that offensive line was bad, and the quarterback.
Yeah. The offensive line was embarrassing. I would have loved to have seen Barkley.
It is.
Listen, Eagles, I believe, were rated still, even now, and we can get into that a little bit, but they're having a little bit of minor injuries right now, but Eagles are number 1 rated Pro Football Focus offensive line in the league right now. Detroit, followed by, I want to say, San Fran, but anyway, you get the point. I think he's going to be better, obviously. I would love to have saw him behind last year's offensive line. With Kelsey, I thought that would have been special, but I still think, barring injury, I think you're going to know right away. Drew, shout out my man, another Eagle fan, one of my channel members. The players have spoken on the top 100. Jalen is better than Dak by 1. And Micah, okay. Stirring the gravy, salute the 2 kings. Well, 1 king, and I'm just starting out in this game. I'm a little over a year in, but I think I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing great.
So thank you, everybody.
Better than I did.
Well, I kind of, I did know Mark. He kind of was guiding me and telling me what to do, what not to do, how to do it. I had an advantage that a lot of people don't have, but I do appreciate it. But listen, I think that this offensive line, it's going to be interesting because Kellen Moore, that's the thing. Kellen Moore is not the guy as far as a running game, in my opinion. But we'll see what he does. It'll be interesting. I would have liked to have seen Barkley under a different offensive coordinator, but it could work. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be.
That's what I think. But that's what I think the Eagles are thinking. That's why
Walker Wade, Philly choke 1-3 in Super Bowls. There you go. He had to get a super chat in. You got it.
But the one is a lot more than you guys had last 30 years. But I'm just saying.
It's true.
I think that that's how the Eagles are looking at it. Like
28
Barkley,
years,
Barkley is a weapon, and Barkley completes the offense. And now, because you have that offense that should be putting up a lot of points, now you could rebuild your defense through the draft, and you go and you kind of saw that
they let Howie don't know how to draft a linebacker.
Well, that's a whole. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I was going to
say he can't draft a DB. But he did draft Kenyon Mitchell, who's off the.
He might have drafted 2.
Yeah, he might have got 2.
But the thing is that's the plan. Now they've got to execute that plan.
Yes,
I think that you have an offense that will score a lot of points. You have a defense that have a lot younger players.
That's where I wanted to go next. Yeah.
But in a couple years, that defense starts to catch up to the offense, and you're ready to roll. I think that's what they're doing. I think that was a plan, and I like the plan. Why not make your offense and your strength even stronger? and then allow your other parts of your team to grow.
Yeah, well, I was going to go there next, Philly. So it was a good transition with your offense. Okay, here's the deal, people. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not conceding the division. I haven't gotten that far yet. Last year, Philly, I should have stuck with my preseason prediction I picked, and I pretty much nailed the Eagles and Dallas. I didn't nail the 10-1 start and then the collapse, but I did nail the final, and then I redid it. But I'm going to wait to do my prediction, but we know what happens in this division, not since what? Since the Eagles of 03, since they repeated?
2004.
Yeah,
04.
So I know where I'm leaning. I think people know. But again, as a Cowboy fan, it ain't about winning the division. To me, it's about what you do in the playoffs. If you shit the bed yet again, then the pressure mounts, Philly. The pressure keeps mounting on the organization, on the quarterback. I like the quarterback. I'm not as in love with him as Mark is. My thing is, Philly, is if we have another answer, fine. But if we don't, I don't want to have that post-Troy Aikman, Quincy Carter, Chad Henne, Chad Hutchinson.
No, I get it.
So, again, I know people say choker in the playoffs, and he's won 2 playoff games. So you're right. In 8 years or 8.5 actually started years, he hasn't won much. He's basically the Lamar Jackson of playoffs. So, you know.
And I'll say this: it's not all him. I will say that. I won't say that around Mark, because Mark will take that and blow it up with something else.
I love Mark. Mark's my mentor, but Mark does 9 videos a day. 8 of them are on Dak. So
they always end up on Dak, and why it's not Dak's
I love
fault.
you, Mark.
It doesn't matter. It could be on anything. It will circle around to it's not Dak Prescott's fault. And my argument with Mark, and this is what we argue all the time, is at some point he's got to be somewhat responsible for something. And Mark doesn't see it that way. So that's why I crush him.
Well, I played your intro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but I played your intro, and where you had Michael Anthony Fitness Gig Economy going nuts in the background. So yeah.
Michael's a star. If I was Mark, I'd have him right up front.
Yeah. He should be up front. But anyway, what I was saying was, if this offense for the Eagles, right, if they do what they're supposed to do and score 30 points a game, it ain't going to matter if the Eagles fall somewhere. Hold up. It ain't going to matter if they fall between 15 and 18 on defense. I think that's all you would need to get where you want to be. Right? Do you agree with that?
And just think, and if you're playing those young guys,
10 or bust, I don't think so.
No, I mean, I think
maybe
the
win a
idea
Super
is,
Bowl, but
once you get in the playoffs, the idea is that the defense starts to play better as the season goes. But imagine all those reps those young guys could get. And if that offense is scoring points, and then you get into the playoffs, they start to play well. They start to get it. The game slows down. Now their defense is playing much better than it had all year at the right time. I mean, I think that's kind of the plan, in my opinion.
Well, I think Dallas, what they did last year was kind of do it with mirrors with their easy schedule. Dallas was putting up a lot of points, and then, then I think that it caught up to them in the playoffs. But I mean, we'll see. Jay Smooth.
As soon as let me tell you, as soon as Mark was looking for Super Bowl tickets, I knew you were going to lose. The moment he said, "I was,"
he didn't tell me.
No, remember, but no. Before the game, I think you were on his show. There's another person, and he's like, "Guess what I was doing today? I was looking at Super Bowl tickets. That was the day of the game between Green Bay." I said, they're going to lose. The Dallas is going to lose. He's looking at Super Bowl tickets.
Jay
sure enough
says, "Hey, Game Time, what's up? Hey, Philly 500.
What's up, buddy?"
Chad, delusional coming from a Cowboy fan. What did I say? I didn't say nothing delusional yet. Come on, bro. We actually had a shot to win. If you don't, Brad, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're in a Cowboys chat, Chad. You're a clown. What's up, Bobby Murphy? Eagles easily winning the East. I don't know about easily, Bobby. I think it could go a lot of ways. I'm not ready to make that prediction. We're going to wait and see. If we lose any more starters, I think it's going to be a problem. Devontae and AJ looking great. After that, Philly, you're having an issue with that third guy. I'm just going to keep it real. I don't really care for Paris Campbell, John Ross, and then you have the two rookies. What's their name? Smith and
Nia Smith and Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson. Just give me your overview.
I think that's a legit issue, or to worry about, because I don't know. I mean, listen, I like Paris Campbell's speed. I know he had one decent year, but really isn't done a lot. So to me, I thought, well, wow, if Nia Smith could get in there, he could probably get on the field quicker than anybody, but he's actually struggled in camp. It looks like the way it's going right now is that, they're going to probably use Paris Campbell between the 20s, and they might be putting Johnny Wilson in the red zone because he's 6'7".
I like them coming out of Florida State.
Yeah,
and,
I think there's still questions about the receiver. It's a position that they could add at some point too. But Paris Campbell has had some good days. John Ross is there, and he had some starting reps with the safety. I just think it's a wide open position, and we'll have to see. Do I think Paris Campbell? I think he's probably slightly better than what they had in Quez, but time will tell. So right now, it's a fair question to ask. Who's the other guy, and we don't know yet.
Yeah, I think you need the playoff games. I think you need some playoff games. Preseason games is what I think you guys need.
Yeah.
I think John Ross, I think it is what it is with John Ross. I agree with you. I think, he's got speed, right? You can't.
Tremendous speed.
You can't teach speed, right? But he's had a shot. He's with the Giants. Bengals. I'm with you. I like Paris Campbell slightly better. I like Johnny Walker, but John McMullen is kind of hammering them both. I don't know. It's early.
Yeah.
So I think, it is what it is. You can't have.
I still think in Nia Smith, from a complimentary, what he brings to the table, I think he would be the perfect fit. But he's another guy that's behind right now because he missed pretty much all of the OTAs.
People don't realize how hard it is when you miss as a rookie.
When you miss time. Right, exactly. But my hope is that as we get into these preseason games, he'll emerge and take the job, because I like from him in college, I like the yards after the catch. He's perfect for the slot. And he may be the perfect guy. It's just a matter of, is he ready right now? So I think it's a fair criticism or question to ask about the Eagles. I don't know. It's unresolved.
It's a good. If that's one of your weaknesses, saying that your number, because I did see where Sills and Mark were talking about it today. West Virginia Country Boy, great show together, you guys. Thank you, West Virginia. The Cody Show, Super Chat. What's up, Game Time, Philly 500, Cowboy Nation. Thank you, both of you.
What's up? I think it's still, you're looking the fifth option. On the team,
that's what I was saying. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, we're sitting there worried. Don't get me wrong, you want your third wide out to be good, but Kellen, this is what I wanted to get your opinion. With Dallas, we always like 12 personnel. It was always very successful for us running two tight ends. I think that would be good. But, what's your thought on 12 personnel? I think Kellen likes to run that a little bit, just your opinion.
The question is who's the second tight end? I think right now, just like running back, I think the difference between the first and the second is very there's a big drop off. So is Calcaterra that guy? I like Calcaterra. I think he's got some talent. He's just got to stay healthy. but I don't know how great of a blocker he is. If you're going to put him in, is he really going to help you against the run? So I think that's one of those questions where he might like 12 personnel, but we'll have to see how realistic it is to be able to run it.
Well, they love Calcaterra, as you know. Logan Motorsports, another one of my Eagle channel members. Yes. Hey, Brian and Philly 500, go Birds.
Oh, buddy.
Hallie Pierce. Okay, if Kellen Moore is using the same plays as he did with the Cowboys, which he won't be, Hallie, he will alter it based on, what he's got to deal with.
Right.
Same plays as he did with the Cowboys, that may be a slight edge to the Cowboys since he knows the plays. Just something to think about. Hallie, I would say a good coordinator will try and adapt. Philly, they're not going to run with Dallas ran exactly. They're going to use Jalen's athleticism, right? I mean,
right. I would assume so. If Kellen Moore is a guy who's could be on the verge of being a head coach someday, he's going to have to adjust to the town around him. I would, basically from what we've heard, he's adjusting things for Jalen Hurts, just like Jalen Hurts is adjusting things. So yeah, it won't be exactly like Dallas ran.
Lady Lieber, this is going to be a very competitive season for the NFC East. I wouldn't count any team out at this point. I would say
Except
the
for
Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah. Lady Lieber, thank you so much for the super chat. You are in the hopper, sweetie. Listen, I'm going to hold off on my prediction. There's a lot of football to be played. God forbid. I don't want to see anybody lose anybody big. I hate it when I don't want no injuries. I mean, last year it seemed like the ACL was our bugaboo. We lost 5 players to ACLs.
ACL is a tough injury.
Well, I Sam Williams.
I hate that injury.
He tore his ACL and MCL. It's not just the ACL.
But that was just freak thing, right? I mean,
he was
not
kickoff.
Even they weren't hit.
Yeah, it was non-contact running down the field on grass, Philly. So all those people who say
you wonder these guys are so big and so strong.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean? That the ligaments
body
can't hold up. I mean, do you remember Bo Jackson?
Oh yeah, Bo.
Jackson was. I mean, they said he was so strong when he got hurt, like the whole leg went out of the socket. Because he wouldn't go down.
Well, you saw him in baseball running up the wall. He was just unbelievable. I think he might have been the best. He might have been Jim Brown, pure athlete, number 2.
Yeah, he was like, you have these guys that play more. He was legit all-star in both sports. I remember we were in Baltimore, like on a field trip, and went to the Inner Harbor, like to the aquarium, and then it went to the Orioles game, and they were playing the Royals. And this was right after Bo Jackson had said he was going back into the NFL. And they were booing him. They were booing him and laughing at him. And the guy comes up, hits 2 home runs, something like that.
He was
goes to the NFL.
People don't realize how hard it is. I played baseball at a decent level, and I couldn't hit a curveball, so that was my issue. But people don't realize how hard it is. What Deion did, you can hate the guy, but Deion, he didn't do it nowhere near the level that Bo did. Bo was a unbelievable professional baseball player and arguably the best running back in the game. He probably shouldn't have been playing football if he knew what he knew, right? Because that's how he hurt his hip, right? I mean, he ran over, I don't know how old you are, but I remember him running over Brian Bosworth.
I remember.
Running over his
ass. That was Monday Night Football, wasn't it?
Exactly.
I was watching it. Yeah, I was watching it. I never missed the Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that was the best. Yeah. That was the best.
That's when football prime time was good.
Yeah, now it's shit. Now it's a way to stream.
It's just so watered down. It's like with the Thursday night games, it's horrible.
And this year it's going to be worse because they got games all over the place because it's just the way the holidays fall and everything.
I have to have accounts like Peacock, Paramount.
Well, that's the thing, man. I thought I was getting a break, where I'm at. It's all Comcast. So I'm like, all right, good. We're turning in all the boxes. I think my Comcast cable bill was $350, $400 a month. With by the time you had all the boxes, I'm like, good. We're just gonna get YouTube TV, and then my boys have this. But after you add everything up, it's like, holy shit, they're getting me for this, they're getting me for that.
It's crazy.
Now they want to put.
What you got to do is you got to write off write it off for your channel.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and
I'm getting into that. My wife's trying to get me. Oh, you need to buy the NFL ticket. Oh yeah, okay. Because now I got my.
I have to buy the ticket.
Well, I buy it, but I mean, last year she bought it for me, but then I went and got an account, a business account.
Yeah.
So now I guess I got to buy it. But okay, that's $400 or whatever, $350, whatever the hell it is.
Crazy.
But
that's crazy.
Let's see here. Yeah, all right. I wanted to touch on. I'm trying to be. Okay, here we go. This is a guy. This guy here, I think, needs to be big. And I'm going to bring up two boys. We'll start out with Bryce Huff. Right now, Bryce Huff is he's not showing anything. Give me your fears on Bryce Huff. Do you think he's going to be all right, or you don't really know? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's why he's.
I have been a guy who has said from the beginning, I don't understand why we need to trade Reddick. I don't think we needed to get rid of Reddick. I know he's holding out with the Jets.
He'll be
but
there.
I don't believe he holds out if he's on the Eagles still. I mean, you know, what loyalty does he have to the Jets to not hold out? But if he was at the Eagles, I think if you would have gone out and got Huff, kept Reddick one more year, then we could have seen what Huff is. Huff had 1 year where he had 10 sacks. That's it. I don't know. I have no idea. The edge rusher to me is my biggest question mark, really, because I don't know what he is. I don't know what Nolan Smith is yet. I don't know what those guys are. I know that they're talented, and a lot of people have a lot of high views of how they should be, but they haven't done it yet. So I think you know, that edge rusher position is a legitimate question mark. And right now with Huff, we really haven't seen a lot. So, yeah, I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's going to fail. I'm just saying it's an awful lot to ask for him to be what Hassan Reddick was. I mean, I had a lot of Eagle fans needle me all year saying Reddick was as good as Parsons. Now, I disagree with that, but as a Cowboy fan, Reddick is an unbelievable agitator, and he gets to the quarterback. He's a sack master. I'm just happy he's not. You know, I understand.
4 years in a row, he had double-digit sacks for 4 straight years. 3 different teams.
Thanks, Virus. I think you should make a bet with Philly 500. Like, what kind of bet you want? We'll get to that, Virus. Thank you so much for the super chat.
when they put Mark in the loony bin, maybe we bet that.
Mark's in the chat, so say you say hello to your boy. He's in here.
Mark's going to get put away by like week 4. That's what I'm saying. That'd be the cuckoo bit.
Oh God, don't say that. Listen, all I'll say on that note before we get back on track is my videos after losses were way more views than after a win. So that's the only
always.
That's the only good thing, people. If you're thinking about doing a YouTube channel, it does help in the losses. I had a effing paper bag over my head after the playoff game. I was like the Aints at that point. I had a paper bag with holes cut out, and it went off. Yeah. So it is what it is, man.
No, you do better when they're bad. That's true.
Mark Holmes says Philly 500 is a no-show. I don't know what that means.
Mark thinks that I've signed a contract to go on Jacob Media every Wednesday. He has no. I have no contract.
I told Mark. I said
he has a contract.
I said I wouldn't. I mean, I understand why you do it, but he goes on there. You guys light him the F up, man. He don't have a chat. And I don't even care about that. That's all fun and games and all. But I will say that chat is so vulgar. I'm like, my God, he's getting talked about his weight. I'm like, God, dude. I mean, and it's probably somebody big on the other end typing it, but he just wants to be.
Oh, they talk about my weight too. You think they're nice to me?
I'm not the skinniest guy either once I stand up. But it is what it is. To me. What the frig? Why
they call me Philly 5,000, Philly 500 pound. I mean, like, damn, I thought these are Eagle fans.
Yeah, well,
it is what it is.
If you don't say what they want to hear, they'll turn on you in a dime.
You
Mark
gotta
Holmes.
just
Here
take
we
it.
go. Here we go. Contract would mean I'm getting something out of it. Well, you are getting something out of it, Mark. You're on Big Sills, right? You're on Big Sills' show. So,
Yeah,
you know,
he's contracted every week on Wednesday. I'm not. I have things
Well,
going on. I have
Mark
work.
breaks
If I
my
could get on, I
balls.
come on.
He breaks my balls because I got a government job. Because I tell him I can't stop what I'm doing during the day because I could lose my job. I'm like 4 years away from being able to retire, right? So it's like, with a government pension, and I got to be careful. I do a lunchtime chat every day for like 30 minutes, and like they're watching you. If I go to 31 minutes, they got this. I said, like the bells and whistles and the sirens are coming after me. Yeah, it's a government job, Mark. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I do what I can do when I can do it. But circling back to Bryce Huff, I don't know about Bryce Huff. I just know as a Cowboy fan, I'm happy that Reddick's gone. But I was at the draft last year where Nolan Smith was on my mind when Dallas was on the clock at number 27. Mark was there, and we were like, all right, so who do you want? And I'm like, okay. I said Joey Porter Jr., maybe Nolan Smith. Now, Philly, I don't know. I'm not in the room. I don't know what Dallas is looking for as far as scheme fit. You know how that works. I don't know if they deem a guy not a scheme fit. I don't know. I'm looking at players, right, and who's talented. Nolan Smith was on my mind for the Cowboys. They took the other Smith, Mozzie, and, knock on wood with that. But Nolan Smith, I think, has to be. That's huge. If he don't hit,
It's huge.
that could be an issue.
I agree.
He's looking
it's
good,
one of those.
But against
He's
Fred,
looking good so far.
Yeah, Fred
he's
Johnson
a little bigger.
Stinks. So
Yeah,
I'm just letting
he's a
everybody
little
know.
bigger, a little stronger than he was a year ago. And we'll see. I have high hopes for Nolan Smith, but they do. They need him to step up. They need one of those guys to be the guy. Otherwise, you're going to hear trade deadline. The Eagles are going to be looking for another pass rusher on the edge. So we'll see. I'm expecting Nolan Smith. I think between 6 to 8 sacks
Well,
this
that's
year.
not.
That's
okay.
what I want to see.
It's
It's not
reasonable.
great. It's not great, but to me,
But that's reasonable.
It's a decent,
I would doubt you would have said, he's going to be a 10-plus
decent
sack guy.
No, he's a decent jump, right? To me, 6 to 8 sacks is a decent jump in year 2 from year 1. I think the guy that's got to show up is Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat is 10-plus guy. He better be on his top. Yeah, he's a contract here.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I know people don't like to hear that, but it's a good thing for numbers. So I think that should be good. And you know who I like? I like Milton on your line.
Yeah,
I think he's. I don't know where he fits. I liked him last year. I think he has some potential, but
he's good.
Jordan
and
Davis, I'm worried about. Good. I know Jordan's looking.
Davis, I love Jordan Davis. I feel great about Jordan Davis.
You gave up a lot of, to get him. I think this is where, and this is another thing. I was listening to John McMullen, and he also said the coaches are just, they love what he could do early down, first down, run downs, but and we know about this. Like in Cowboy land, when it comes to certain players, like we have a guy named Osa Odigizua who is a Pro Bowler, but he tends to wear down. He's not a one tech like Jordan Davis. He's a 3 tech. He tends to wear down as the season goes. I don't know, with Fletcher Cox being gone, how much depth you really have there. We know Jalen Carter's an absolute stud. So as an Eagle fan, what do you hope to get? Obviously, you hope a full season, but I don't think he's a 3-down player. I don't think.
I believe he could he could be a 3-down player. I believe he can.
You want to believe he could be a 3-down player?
Listen. I don't. I look at what Jordan Davis did the first 11 games. He was tremendous, especially against the run and things like that. Now, Jordan Davis has to develop into a better pass rusher. He's never going to be a 10-sack guy.
I don't think that's what they're asking him to do, though, Phil.
No, and they're not. But the thing is when it comes to last year, I don't believe Jordan Davis faded because he's a guy that just wears down as the season goes. I believe he faded because he's not conditioned. He wasn't in good enough shape.
He's in better shape this year.
And he has to be in top shape. If Jordan Davis is in top shape, I expect him to be able to hold out through the year. Now, if he does this again this year, I think this is a big make or break year. It's going to tell us a lot. But my expectations for Jordan Davis is that I'm going to get the first 11 game Jordan Davis, maybe slightly better, for 17 weeks. It's so hard to know last year with some of the things that happened because the whole team collapsed. They just completely all gave up. Jordan Davis disappeared. So did Jalen Carter. So did Hassan Reddick.
AJ
so did
Brown,
everybody
you know where
else.
He was during the playoff game. He was in Atlantic City, my buddy.
And that's what Sill says. I don't know.
He was in Atlantic City, burying the team. But again, he's back. He's got a new contract. Who cares? I'm sorry to tell you, people. These, not everybody, not Devontae Smith, but most of these wide receivers are divas. They just are. Yeah. So don't get carried away. You don't give a shit. Michael Irvin was at the White House doing whatever and, banging, chicks and then winning Super Bowls. So it is what it is, people. Don't get carried away. Sorry to
He
tell
lived
you.
a good life.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Lou Branch, another one of my Eagle guys. What's up, Lou? They really don't realize how bad they look being happy about just beating the Eagles while being straight. It's funny, Lou, how the narrative had changed because as a Cowboy fan, I remember back in the 90s, your Super Bowl was always beating the Cowboys, right? I remember Philly. I was at the game when Emmett ran into the line 4 times, and Merrill Reese says, "They stopped him again." Merrill Reese was going nuts.
We had Rodney Peete was our quarterback.
I know.
What do you expect?
But I'm just saying that you guys beat us that game, and then I always use this that was Jimmy Johnson was gone. Yeah, we had the Oklahoma coach, Barry Switzer. We ended up going on to win the Super Bowl.
That guy was a smart guy, wasn't he?
But I mean, it's just like, okay, now the roles have reversed. Now the Eagle fans think our Super Bowl was just beating the Eagles. I'm an old school guy. No, I want to win the ultimate game. That brings me to my next question because me and Drew, who's, believe it or not, Philly, you're going to get a kick out of this. I'm probably, because I got so many Eagles subscribers, there's a couple of them that are really, really knowledgeable, and they want to start a channel. I told them that I might do a post-game show for the Eagles. Do all the graphics and everything and get it going. And do a post-game show and have them kind of run it, and I'll just be like the anti on the other side. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. But I want your opinion on this. Listen, people, I'd like to win playoff games, but Philly, are you happy with just getting to a Super Bowl, or do you feel, are you one of those guys, you just want to rack up the playoff wins like Donovan, right? You're happy with that. And if
I want to win Super Bowls.
You want to win the damn Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Drew, you hear that?
I want to win.
He wants to win. Now,
I want to win.
Again, ask Jim Kelly what he thinks about getting the 4 straight Super Bowls and losing. Do you think he's okay?
Right.
You think
it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
I remember I was a little guy, but I remember, like 2 out of 3 years we lost to the Steelers, and I remember my older brother, God rest his soul, but he threw a Dallas troll up in a tree after we lost the first one, and then 2 years later we lost it again, and I was old enough to go up in the tree and get the damn troll out because I thought it was bad mojo. Just like I think that damn thing that Mark's got might be a problem.
Oh God, yeah, that is definitely that satanic evil thing. That's why you're not winning.
We drove to Dallas in an RV. Philly, no lie. I'm driving. It's like 2:30 in the morning, right? Mark's wife's in the back. You got Michael Anthony Fitness Gig Economies in the back with his girl. We had a couple kids. We were way overloaded in a damn RV. If I would have known now what I knew, we were idiots. But I'm driving. It's like 2 in the morning, and we're going through Tennessee. I look down, and I see this like friggin' doll looking at me, and it's got these bug eyes, and I had to wake Mark up because I was scared for my life at that point. It was scary, that thing. We need to figure something out. We need to figure.
Listen. I tried to help him. I tried to get him to chop the head off.
No, we can't chop the head off, but we need to do a seance
he won't
or
do
something.
Yeah, that thing's.
It's working for you.
You can't
though,
mess
Philly.
with that.
It is working for the Eagles because we haven't won shit. So,
We got to win another Super Bowl. Then it will be.
Drew, see, that's all I say. Because Drew, game time. Oh, here we go. Game time. I never said I don't want to win a Super Bowl. I'd rather be in the Super Bowl than second round playoff exit. No, Drew, I understand what you're saying, but I think if you keep getting to Super Bowls and losing, it gets hard. I get it. It was fun, but at the end of the game, when your defense let it up, you could not have been happy, and then you want to blame.
You got to win a couple of those. You know, you're not going to have to win everyone. You're not going to win everyone.
You don't have to win them all.
You got to win a couple, man. You know. That's
it's just I had to bring it up because I get it all the time. I know, Brad. I have a Mystic. One of my subscribers gave me the Mystic, and I'm afraid to activate it. It's like a real voodoo doll. Look at it. Look at this freaking thing. Look at that. I haven't done nothing with it. But
I don't mess with that stuff.
I might have to do something, and just
I don't mess with that.
I know. I don't. I'm afraid. That's why. And the dude's sending me like voodoo dolls left and right. I'm like, I don't really mess with that stuff. I was raised Catholic. My mom and all. But it's like I haven't been to church in a while. But I don't know that I want to be activating anything, satanic.
No.
I feel like that's going to bring. But then again, it may work because we haven't won shit in 28 years. So.
You're going to have to win. You have to sell your souls. Everybody will be dying off early. You don't want to win that way.
All right. I'll get to a few more things. Philly 500 was gracious enough to come right home from work. You remember he's on the West Coast, people, so we won't keep him too much longer. But I want to get to a few more guys before we get out of here. And maybe, I don't know if you have any questions for me, but Nakobe Dean, and that's going to lead me into something else. Give me your thoughts on Nakobe. Do you think he's going to work out or no? I know you may want him to work out. I don't see it, man. I don't see it long term. What's your opinion?
I said I'm not going to trash or not trash, but I'm not going to trash. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go hardcore on Nakobe Dean until week 1, week 2.
He's not listening.
I want to see. Good. I want to see. What's that?
He's not listening. Me? So we're good.
No. Oh no! It's just that I believe this was the training camp that he needed to come in, and he needed to establish himself. He needed to show that he's the starter, and he needed to kind of take that job. And if we go through all preseason, all training camp, and Zach Bond is starting, I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem. I think that it tells you Nakobe Dean's not the guy. So it right now, I don't know, where is Nakobe? I don't hear anything really about him every day. The only time I hear him is when it's like, Will Shipley caught a pass with Nakobe Dean trailing. I never hear anything like, yeah, he's going to take on that role. So I think that this is make or break training camp for him.
We have a bunch of guys like that, Philly, that it's poop or get off the pot time.
This should be his job.
Yeah,
this should be his
should
time.
be, but we'll just real quick. Coyote, thanks for the $2 super chat. Wait till rivalry week. Yeah, we got to wait a little bit this year. It's I'm actually going to the game with Mark and my partner Primetime Phil. We're going to the Dallas Eagles game November 10th, so we'll be there that week. So we're supposed to have a tailgate. We shall see. I just hope that my team hasn't fallen apart by then. Timothy Looper, game time. Get Philly to sing one of his fantastic songs, please. Now, we're not going to get him to sing tonight. But bringing up Nakobe Dean, Philly, I don't know if he's going to work out or not. I know
my blood pressure starts to boil when we start talking about Nakobe Dean. That's not a good sign.
But here's the deal. I want people to understand, and this is not me couching it or laying over. Okay, if he don't work out, but if Zach Bond all of a sudden is really good, which I actually like him, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes you need a later round or a guy to work out. Sometimes when you take guys off of like Georgia, they were a national championship game and there's studs all along the line. Sometimes it's hard. some guy like Jalen Carter, you knew there was, I thought was a no-brainer, but Jordan Davis, you would have thought would have given you more by now, and he still can. But
I'm not unhappy with Jordan Davis so far.
Like,
I'm
I'm leading into this. Everybody hated the Jeremiah Trotter outside of Philly. It was a beautiful story, and it was cool. But I actually think Jeremiah Trotter is going to be a decent player. Am I stupid? I know he's undersized, but I think from what I see, and he had a good day yesterday, I think he's going to be a decent player.
I said
better than
this,
Nakobe.
Brian.
That's why I brought up Nakobe.
I said
Not
this
the crap
when
on Nakobe.
I said this when Jeremiah Trotter gets that starting job. When he starts one game, he's not giving up the position. He will earn that position, and he will get it. I believe Jeremiah Trotter starts by the end of the year. I actually agree with you. I think he's going to be a decent player. I'm excited about Trotter. But, is he undersized? But I think that he's a player. And I think with Devin White next to him, I think when he gets the chance to start, he's not giving up. He's not giving it up.
Devin White's
so Trotter will be
upside there, I think. Devin White.
Huge.
I mean,
huge.
He hasn't had a great career. He hasn't had a great career. But that being
not
said,
in the last few years.
The upside is there, right? That's all you could ask for. He has a 1-year deal, I believe.
That's all you could ask for.
So, I mean, we'll see. I was bringing up Nakobe not to hammer him, but to say I think it's either Nakobe or Trotter, not both. And I think Trotter beats out Nakobe. They both may be on the team this year, but I think ultimately that'll be Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I think Trotter's going to take that starting job at some point.
I think he actually goes well with a guy like the guy
White.
White, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he actually fits good, but I'm not 100% on it, so that's why I wanted your opinion.
Right.
So
I mean, I like Trotter. I was dying for the Trotter Jr. Like I said, I think eventually he will be starting. I think it could be as soon as this year, at the end of the year. But I think he'll
maybe
get it.
halfway through.
Vaughn, I don't know what to think of Vaughn. I mean,
I like him.
Here's a guy that he's never played inside linebacker, but they obviously like him. So
special teams.
We'll see what Vic does with him. Yeah, special teams guy. Yeah. Well, that's what we thought we were getting. But obviously they like him, and I think it says. What I don't understand, what I don't know, and I don't know this yet, is the fact that they like Vaughn. Is that because he's showing something, or is it that Nakobe Dean is showing nothing?
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that.
That's the question, and we'll find out in preseason. We'll
that's
see.
what. Yeah, exactly. They're going to get a lot of playing time, and Dallas has. I don't know how familiar you are with the Dallas players, but they have a lot of the issues like that too, where we need to see from guys that we have drafted. And now, just going back to the chat, let's see, where did he go? They were talking about it took Cox 3 years to get going. Give Davis some time to grow. I get it, but he coming from a team where Mozzie Smith was. I thought Dan Quinn did him a disservice. Just real quick, Philly. Dan Quinn's defense is more of an athletic. We want to get to the quarterback. On the way to doing so, let's stop the run. Whereas Mike Zimmer is, we're stopping the run first, and then we're going to be exotic in how we get to the quarterback. Whether it's...
They don't blitz a lot under Zimmer. Zimmer don't blitz
It'll be
a lot.
A-gap. They'll drop back. It's very hard.
See, that's a perfect matchup for Jalen Hurts, because I think the way you play Jalen, if I'm playing against Jalen Hurts, I'm blitzing him all day. I'm bringing things
but he
from
disguises
everywhere.
it, Zimmer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He disguises it. So he likes to do the A-gap blitz or drop him back, send a corner. But what I'm getting at is nobody wants to give Mozzie any, break, and he's only on his second year. He wasn't drafted where Jordan Davis was. He was drafted at the end of round 1, where he actually was a 7th round grade on the player. A second-round player on grade on the player that they took in the first round. Now his weight is back up, Philly. He's up to 310. They wanted to get him to 315. Dan Quinn had him get down to 290, 292, which was crazy. And early on, people, my Cowboys subscribers, he's taken on double teams. He's the one thing you keep hearing is how strong this guy is. He's playing with confidence. For Mozzie Smith's career, whether you're an Eagle fan, a Cowboy fan, you want to see him do something. And I think he will. I'm not predicting anything special. I want to see him play, but it's a lot better than it was last year, people. Everybody wants to shit on Mozzie. We don't want to give him any credit. We just want to compare him to Jordan Davis. It's not the same, people. It's not. If you want to compare him to somebody, compare him to Nolan Smith. They were picked, 2 picks apart. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Well, to me, if I'm gonna compare my best defensive tackle to your best, I'm gonna go Jalen Carter. So you want to compare? Matt, let's go.
Yeah,
so that's how I do it. Yeah.
Just like I would be. I did hear, and everybody wants me to bring it up about the defensive backfield. You made a comment that you would take the Eagles D-backs over Dallas. Now, again, I don't know if that's true. There's no way in this earth, on the moon.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. I'll explain why.
Well, go ahead.
All right. The reason why, and I was talking, and when I said that, I said this year I would take the Eagles secondary. And the reason is Diggs is coming back from a torn ACL. When you come back from a torn ACL, we know that it always takes a full year after that. So this is a year where he's probably going to be trying to come back, not have the burst that he's had, not have the top speed. And I think that hurts him. So I think based upon Diggs coming back from an injury, I would rather have the Eagles secondary for this 1 year time. Now, Diggs comes back and he's healthy in 2 years. Maybe it'll be different. I don't know. We'll see. But I think you got a banged up secondary. I think your best corner is coming back from a torn ACL. So I'll take the healthy guys over the guy coming back from injury.
But you're talking Slay and you're talking some rookies.
I'm talking Slay. I'm talking.
We got Deron Bland who had 6 picks.
Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, I know. Isaiah Rodgers.
But come on.
I know.
Come on. Bland with the 6 pick sixes.
Dude, that's
I'm sorry, dude.
I'd have had.
I would have had 4 of them. Nah. I would have had 4 pick sixes if they threw that ball.
But
right
under Zimmer's defense, right? You got to
realize. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, well, that's what we're all speculating. You're like projecting rookies, right? I'm showing you a guy who's on the top 100. Is top 31.
I'm projecting health. Yeah, I don't buy it. I'm not buying.
I'm just telling you, that's what they. Yeah. I was already thrown at it by Eagles fans that the Jalen is 1 ahead of Dak on the top 100. Okay, well,
you never hear me talk about those things.
To the chat.
I don't talk about those rankings. Those rankings stink.
I don't use them either.
The thing about it is, I think Diggs is the important piece back there, he's coming back.
You don't know that
from an injury. I have never seen a guy come back from a torn ACL and be 100%, except for Adrian Peterson, was the only guy I've ever seen do it. Usually it takes 1 full year. So we'll see. And I think Bland. Listen, I could have pick sixes for those passes. I'm like, really, you just threw it right to the guy? Oh, I could have backwards. I could have ran backwards.
Kellen Carson we got who's balling out is like he's our Kenyon Mitchell, but with multiple.
Well, I don't.
I know you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the young guys enough to say. I can only base it upon.
Remember, they called him the. He went to Wake Forest. They called him the human seatbelt. I think that's a little overboard, but he is. Mike Zimmer has gotten him in the starting lineup. Obviously, with Bland's sideline. Bland's back now. He's working way in slowly, but Kellen Carson. And we got Jordan Lewis. He's a notch up from Avonte Maddox. He's got some skins on the wall. I think that our secondary, that's going to allow our linebackers. Eric Kendricks he already picked off Dak, so I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but Eric Kendricks is a solid. We were like you guys in the linebacker. We were worse than the Eagles last year in linebacker. Once Leighton Vander Esch got hurt.
Put out the wheelchair. Eric Kendricks.
117 tackles last year.
Yeah, well, it's because nobody else was making it. That just tells you nobody was making plays around him.
I know, and we still won 12 games.
And listen, I got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. Let me tell you,
I called that.
I think he's one of the most underrated players. He's a legitimate ball hawk, and I think that was something neat.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, I could go on and on, people, but we're gonna let Philly go. I appreciate everybody. I will do a drawing after I'll let Philly go, and then I'll finish up the show. Philly 500. I appreciate you, my guy. Is there anything that you want to say to the people? We know where to find you. We all know where to find you. But anything you want to say to your Eagle people and your Dallas people before you
I'll say Eagle fans, get ready because it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be fun. And Dallas, listen, Dallas still stinks.
Yeah,
what,
I know.
what else
I played
can I
that
say?
for you.
Right? They stink.
All right, Philly. I appreciate you,
Thanks,
my guy.
man. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, and
I do. Anytime, man.
I was thinking, me and Mark had an idea of something, maybe right before the season, do some sort of short little roundtable. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Maybe you're interested.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Get my phone number from Mark, or I'll text it to you later.
I appreciate that, and we'll do it because I had on Cop Pizzle. I don't know. Mark and Cop Pizzle have some kind of. They're having some kind of tiff. I had Louis T on a few weeks ago, so he's killing it. So
he's good. Yeah.
But be that as it may, as Mark would like to say, Philly, thank you so much, my man.
Thank
I will
you, my
talk
man.
to you later.
Appreciate it.
All
right.
Peace.
Peace. Bye.
All right, everybody. We are going to do a drawing. We're going to do a drawing. We're going to have my producer do the pick this time. Yeah, come here, stick your arm in and grab it. We're going to do a drawing. Let's see what we got $62 plus 62, 72. Wait, hold up. 62 and, hold up. Yeah, 62 and 65. I got to add this up. I think we're only doing one drawing, but let me see here. 62 plus 59. 59. All right, 121. So we are 150. So we're 25. We're $29 from our next giveaway. So all right, you could go ahead and draw me a. This is my producer's arm. Ooh, there it is. Well, that arm can be a model. That's a model hand. That's a model arm. Let's see what it is. Make it a good one. Make it a good one. Don't destroy my display. There you go. Oh, shit. What do you know? It's an Eagle fan. It takes an Eagle fan to draw an Eagle fan. Lou Branch. Lou Branch is the winner. Lou Branch, email me at, here, I'll put it in the chat. GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. There it is. GameTimeBrian@gmail.com. Lou Branch. There you go, my guy. If you're not in here anymore, I'll get you next time. We'll get you one of those Eagle hats sent out right to you. Thanks again, Philly 500, my guy, for joining me tonight. You're always a class act. We may be on opposite sides of the fence, but we do it with class. And you know what, Philly? We coming for your meats, big guy. We're coming for it, right? Anyway, Lou, I see you, bro. Lou. Email me your address. This will go out tomorrow. A Kelly Green hat, Game Time Brian. You're the winner. Thank you for being in here as an Eagle guy. I appreciate you. You're always making comments. And I appreciate you, Lou. So email me at that Game Time Brian with a Y. Game Time Brian with a Y. All right? But all right, everybody. I think that's it for me tonight. I appreciate everybody. Remember, I will be doing a lot of stuff. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Again, people said that Philly wouldn't come on here. I don't know why people would say that. I've done a show with him before. He's a great guy and even a better YouTuber. He knows how to... We could all take a little bit of the lesson of how to get to the chat with him. So he makes it look easy. But all right, everybody, I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Expect some stuff coming out hot and heavy. Late.
Hey, man.
What?
I'm cool. This is me. We're gonna jump on that spaceship and get out of here. Let's go.
No judgment. Shoot.
To smash that subscribe button. You know what? I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 4 out of 5 avocados. Korg?
I was raised by avocados.
Oh my God! Just kill me now.
Ho ho ho.
Green Giant.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
I think it's going really well. I know. This is literally the first time I took my gun out of the holster. Right.
And that is why we need a triumphant video. You guys led us to this. Thank you.